So the next game is Truth or Dare. And I really thought that this was going to be like a baby really. I don't know why I thought this. So the first question is Julia's. You got to do a threesome with people in this room. Who would you do and why? Julia says threesomes are not my thing. It's insane.
I would almost be on board if this were a bridal shower, but it's a baby shower. What do threesomes have to do with it?
Exactly.
I mean, stretch it a bridal shower, but I'd be here for it.
It was insane. Julia's like, threesomes are not my thing, but Martina says, well, you have done a threesome, so pick one. I was like, ooh. Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Miami, Season 7, Episode number 4, Boogers and Birkins. Horrible name. Horrible.
Where'd the boogers come from?
It's in there. Oh, it's in there. I'll tell you. Well, when we get there, I'll let you know.
Okay. Boogers.
Boogers, like snots.
Okay. Why don't I remember that? All right. I literally just watched this a couple of hours ago.
I did too. So we start out with one day after Marysol's wedding party, and we see Julia practicing singing, and she's talking to her voice coach and telling him what happened. What?
Like, need somebody to film with much?
I mean, that was so produced and ridiculous. It was
stupid.
So bad. Then we see the new housewife, Stephanie, and we get her tagline, I don't just sell luxury, I live it. We'll come back to her because that's all we see.
Yeah,
we
sure will.
Yep. Because Kelly has some strong opinions about.
Strong.
Yeah. And I pointed out that Kelly has strong opinions about a lot of things.
Not the things I should.
Exactly. So then we see Alexia and Marysol are doing the vibration plate together. Now you have a vibration plate. I have a vibration plate. I don't think you and I could do it together. I don't know how they were doing that.
I don't think we could either, but I love my vibration plate.
Do you?
Do you?
I don't use it. I so should use it. I
don't use it as much as I did when I first got it, mainly because I've been walking and going to the gym more. But I just used it last night.
You did?
I was like, yeah, and I just feel good when I get off of it.
That's good. You know what? I
really
should use mine more. You know what the problem is? This is my problem, is that it's the perfect thing to do when you're watching TV, right?
For sure.
I only watch TV downstairs if I'm taking notes for Housewives, and I'm taking notes. So obviously I can't vibrate and take notes at the same time.
No, you can't do that.
And then the other time I'm watching TV, I'm in my bed. So it's like, I don't have a time where I am going to have to make a time and vibrate. I'm going to do my vibration plate because I do think it's good for you.
And you only do it in 10-minute increments. So I'll do it twice for 10 minutes each.
Okay. I thought it was 20 minutes. Only 10 minutes?
I thought I read where you should only do it 10 minutes. But maybe I do wind up doing it for 20 minutes. I just break it up.
Okay. And do you always do it standing or do you ever do it sitting?
I always do it standing. And I try to squat when I'm doing it.
That's
so
really
my
good.
Ass, yeah.
That's probably bad. So I do it sitting.
Because other than that, I'm not squatting. So
yeah, I do it sitting sometimes, and sometimes I do it standing. I actually prefer it sitting.
I've never tried it sitting.
Well, mine is a little.
I want to do the thing where you do like a plank on it.
Yes.
But I could only do I can do planks, but I can do 1-minute planks. So I'd have to do like 3 1-minute planks.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, maybe we'll do a TikTok of us using our vibrating plates.
That would be hysterical.
It would be hysterical. Did you see that TikTok where a bunch of women are trying to drink wine on the vibration plates?
No, but I got to look for that.
Yes, or maybe we should try that.
We should try it.
Right? I mean,
we should try that.
We wine whenever. I think we should try it.
We are. Yeah.
Right?
If anybody's going to do it, it should be us.
I think so. So then we see Guerdy just finished decorating her house for Halloween, and she's excited because her son Liam it's his favorite holiday, which we see the boys come in. Oh my God, they got so big since we saw them last.
They really did. And they're so
big.
tall. tall.
Yes. Yes. I mean, Guerdy's
And
tall and
very
Russell's tall.
handsome.
Yes. She's talking to Russell a little bit, how she's, like really happy that she's doing the decorating again. I mean, that's what she did. She was a party planner. Like
Yeah.
that was her thing. And I I guess she hasn't done it since she's been sick, which makes sense, but I feel bad for her because that's what her passion was,
I know.
And when
I would
think
imagine it would be difficult for her to do it like with treatments and stuff because you don't feel good.
No, I would imagine it would be too. I just wish she had like a strong team that would still be able to,
Carry it on.
carry it, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. And when
She seems like a very hands-on person too.
she definitely seems hands on, but when Kiki was on Watch What Happens Live, one of the questions like Andy asked was like if you wanted to like ask a question of any of the housewives, she said I would want to ask Guerdy like, are you doing Guerdy? What is it? Are you doing your party planning business or aren't you? I'm like, that's kind
Kiki
of
said
shady.
that?
Yeah. I'm like, that's
She's
kind of shady.
very shady with Guerdy.
Yes, like that's kind of shady. Like if you want to ask her that question, then just ask her that question. Really? Got to do this on Watch What Happens Live?
Yeah, and clearly she's being does everybody on the cast forget that Guerdy's being treated for breast cancer?
I feel like they do.
Does everybody just forget that?
I feel like they do. I really do.
Yeah. There's no grace here.
There's zero grace. I really do. I agree with you. It's annoying to me, to be quite honest with you.
It's very annoying.
All right. Then we see Martina and Julia are shopping at this grocery store. This right here was the worst produced scene I've ever seen in my entire life. Well, at least I thought that until I saw another one later on in the episode, and I'll point that one out to you too. Julius is talking to Martina saying that she owes Alexia and Marysol a dinner.
An apology. Oh, yes.
Dinner because she asked Martina if she's going to be grilling anytime soon. And Martina's like, why? And she's like, well, I owe them a dinner because, I need to apologize. And Martina's like, well, I love how you're volunteering my abilities. All right, Martina.
Yeah, well, that's what we do. Martina.
Was it you that said it like last week that Martina likes to be on the camera? And I said I didn't think so. You were absolutely right. After watching this episode, other people are saying it too. You are 100% right. I mean, she's horrible on the camera, but yes, she wants to be on. Yes.
Especially with this new chick, Stephanie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she goes on to say that, she shouldn't have thrown the water. And, she is saying that she's upset that Guerdy got her so upset that she acted that way. The whole time she's talking about it, she's not taking any accountability for her actions. It's all Guerdy's fault.
Yeah. Guerdy got her all worked up.
Right.
You threw water.
Right.
Guerdy remained calm and composed the whole time.
It wasn't water. It was a drink. She had
I
just
thought
got
it was water.
Well, it looked like water, but she had just gone to the bar and got that drink. Because remember she was talking to Steve at the bar? And then all of a sudden it came, and then she came back? I don't think it was water. They kept calling it water, but I think it was her drink.
You're right.
I think it was her drink. I mean, I could watch it back and see if there was 2 glasses there, but I know she went to the bar and she had a glass.
She did get a drink.
Yeah, and when she was talking to Steve right before this whole thing happened. So Julia's saying that, Guerdy upset her and that she's telling Martina that, Guerdy's trying to tell the ladies that when I went to Paris to see my daughter that I was having a facelift and I wasn't there for you. And Martina's like, well, if I needed you, I knew you'd be there. I knew I could handle this without you. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. That is what you're going with? That is what you're going with, that you were visiting your daughter in Paris.
And Kiki confirmed on Watch What Happens Live that is exactly what happened.
She had a facelift. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She did.
And this whole, like you said it last week before the cruise, this whole Martina thing, they were fighting. They were obviously fighting.
Yes, they absolutely had to have been fighting because why else would this have happened?
Right.
Then we see Julia's talking to Marysol and Alexia, and Marysol said, I didn't like the water. And Julia is at their place talking to them. And then she's sending the text message to Guerdy to apologize. And she's coming with an open heart and she would like to clear the air. And she's they show you her sending the text message in front of them. And she's saying, Martina, and she didn't even get back to me yet. Come on. Are you really?
Right.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
You send a text, that kind of thing warrants a phone call.
Well, yes.
Pick up the phone and dial her number and call her.
Yeah.
Because it was gross what she did.
It was disgusting. It's disgusting. And then we see Guerdy talking to Russell, and she's crying, and she's saying that, she violated me in front of the ladies to embarrass me. And Russell's right. Like, didn't any of the ladies, like, say something like, this is not a good idea. Like, you are still recovering. Like, what is going on?
Kiki was telling Guerdy to leave.
I know.
Crazy.
And then Julia lets Martina know that, she's having the baby shower and she feels that everyone should be invited. So she's still going to invite Guerdy. So she has to FaceTime Adriana to let her know that, even though Guerdy, did her wrong, to still invite her.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a damn break. This whole episode annoyed the crap out of me. It really did.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
Then we see Larsa's with Stephanie on her private jet, the new housewife. We find out that she met her through Carolyn Stansberry, and Stephanie didn't even want to meet Larsa. She said she was yachting in the middle of the ocean in the south of France, and she's added to this group chat. And then she realized that Larsa had a really good sense of humor, so she would like to be friends with her. What? I mean...
So my take on Stephanie is if you look up the word flex in the dictionary, you're going to see a picture of Stephanie.
Yes.
And listen, if you got it, God bless you. But the flex was off the charts.
Yes, it was. Yes, because we find out that Stephanie invited Larsa to run errands. Larsa said she thought she was going to lunch and to the mall. But in fact, they were flying to Orlando to pick up her dogs.
On a private jet.
I'm like,
so not too environmentally conscious is
No.
Stephanie. Chauget, what the fuck is her last name?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. What is she, a developer? Her husband was...
Yeah, her husband started the Shoma Group, the third largest real estate development in Southern Florida. Okay, it's not the first, it's not the second, so it's the third. I mean...
So...
in the early 80s.
Right, because he's older.
Yeah, he's older.
Is this Dr. Nicole's partner Anthony's ex?
Yes. I'm just trying to figure out where, when.
Because they haven't said it yet.
No.
But it must have been when they were very young because she's clearly been with this man for a very long time.
Yes, I think so,
right?
Too.
She must have been very young when she was with Anthony.
I don't know. There's more that we need to fill in here. There's definitely more that needs to be filled in.
Which, because when I heard that Dr. Nicole was leaving the show and then Anthony's ex was going to be on the show, I was like, oh, well, I don't blame her. Because I think Dr. Nicole, quite honestly, is one of the classiest housewives we've ever had. Ever. Any franchise.
I think Tiffany is right there with her.
Totally.
I love them.
Totally
I love them both. I love them both.
I do too. I love their pod. I only watch the clips. I haven't listened to an actual podcast yet, but I will because I love them. But if he dated her that long ago, it's like, why would Nicole even care?
No, I don't think she would. I think it was more that she just had a baby. She doesn't need this.
She had a baby and she doesn't need this. She has a private jet. She has a yacht. She's got all the things.
Yes. And actually, she's a doctor. And
right. And this is why Alexia did not like her. And this is why Alexia and Marysol kept coming for her.
Right. Because she's self-made. I mean, yes, her husband is very successful, but she can stand on her own. Unlike our new housewife, Stephanie, who says, I am not where I am because I married my husband. I got a little bit of help, but everybody in life gets a little bit of help. What? No. You are where you are because you married your husband. Who are you kidding? Who are you kidding?
Did you see her in the boardroom? You could tell that she's probably never been in there before.
Yeah, when they're
her all the employees are looking at her like with these plastic smiles on their face. She has probably never conducted a meeting in her life.
I agree with you. I mean, and when they got to Orlando to pick up the dogs, they met her parents there. So the dogs were at her parents' house in Orlando. What is that all about? Seriously?
Yeah,
what is that all about? Why?
Right.
That makes no sense to me.
And again, you're taking a private jet from Miami to Orlando to pick up dogs. Do you not see the waste in all of this?
Yeah. So then Stephanie asks Larsa how is Lisa? And Larsa's like, I don't want to talk about her. Then Stephanie says her glam team used to be Lisa's glam team a long time ago. Then Larsa tells her that Julia threw water at Guerdy the last time she saw the ladies. Okay. Then in the meantime, Marysol calls Larsa and tells her that Alexia dropped a bomb. And this is when she's off the plane getting the dogs. And Todd and her decided to ask for an extension, another 3 months to decide whether or not they're going to get the divorce. And Marysol's like,
I have to be honest with you. I've never done divorce law, so if any listeners out there have, correct me if I'm wrong. We've talked about this in other like legal aspects, like where a judge should say this needs to be done by this date. I've never heard of a divorce judge, a family judge being like, you need to be divorced by this date. But again, I've never done marital law,
right.
but
it is interesting. It is interesting.
Right? It sounds a little odd that a judge would be putting time restraints on a divorce, but yet these other legal issues we talk about, I'm like, I don't understand. Why doesn't the judge just say you got to do this by this date?
Well, even when we were talking about Drew and Ralph and how Ralph wasn't producing the financials, and then they keep getting, like, we kept saying that, like, there's got to be a time limit. Like, why does he keep getting it pushed off? Now, this is the absolute opposite. Like, the judge is telling them that you need to get divorced, or you're not, or take back the complaint. Like, either you're doing it or you're not. Like, what?
Yeah, isn't it bizarre?
It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. So Marysol wants to get the girls together to distract Alexia and, have a girls' night and go out and have some drinks. And also Marysol says that, why wasn't I invited? Because she likes flying, and I guess Larsa doesn't, to go do the dogs. So then Marysol goes over to Lisa's house, and she's telling her about the party, and they're waiting for Alexia to come over, and then they're going to tell her when she gets there what happened. But Marysol wants to let her know about Alexia and Todd, but she doesn't really get a chance to do it because Alexia kind of shows up.
Comes so quickly.
Yeah. So Marysol said Larsa was recapping Milan, and she was saying that Jody was amped up, his crazy behavior, argumentative. You were defending her because Jody was screaming at her, and Lisa's like, Jody was not like, Jody doesn't scream. He doesn't raise his voice. Like, she is such a lot. And honestly, I really can't see Jody raising his voice.
I tend to believe Lisa in this.
I do too. And
situation.
I don't know if you heard it, but this past week, Jody was on the two Eds.
I meant to listen because on our text with cousin Gina, I saw. Is that where you said? I think that's where you mentioned that.
Did I say it? Oh yeah. So
I thought you did, and I was
did
like,
listen
I have
to
to listen to that.
I did listen to it. I have so much going on. I don't even know who I tell what to. But yes, I did listen to it.
Or maybe you like replied to a comment from a listener on YouTube or something. I saw that you listened to it though.
I did listen to it, and when I will say to you, he seems very level-headed. He seems very level-headed. They were doing business together. Like, he doesn't, I believe him, and I believe Lisa. I think that Larsa is trying to spin this to make him look like he is just like Marcus. And that he also said that he's going to be seeing Marcus because he's going to, I think it was Italy, but don't quote me. He was going somewhere in Europe with his daughter, and he was meeting Marcus there in a few months. And he also said Marcus has been clean. He hasn't seen him drinking or doing anything.
Well, that's good to hear.
That is good to hear. But I thought that was very interesting. And I believe it because he's not going to be taking his daughter around him if he's not.
No.
Right?
Right.
He didn't say whether or not Lisa was going also, but
listen, I'm starting to believe between the Valley and Miami, I'm starting to believe that cocaine is around and people are doing it.
Yeah.
Certainly not in my circles that I know of.
No.
But
not in our hood here. Not in this little hood we got.
No. But it's around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not naive. I've lost numerous family members to drugs. I don't think it's something you can do occasionally, socially. I don't think so. But hopefully Marcus wasn't at a point where it was that much of a problem, and hopefully that's true.
Yes, or maybe after that picture surfaced, he sought treatment. He sought treatment, and maybe he is clean.
Yeah. No, listen. I hope nothing is. I hope that's true.
Okay. I remember I said the worst produced scene was Martina and Julia. No. The worst produced scene was the next scene where Larsa's on FaceTime with Jack, her friend that met her in Milan, and she is saying, yes. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. I cannot believe that these producers allowed this scene.
I didn't even know who it was. My notes are Larsa is on the phone with someone.
Yeah, it was that guy Jack.
And he's basically fact-checking her story, which is bullshit. This means nothing.
Right. Yes. Yeah, and I mean, my next line is, I call bullshit and on this FaceTime and the conversation, like, they're trying to spin their story and spin their narrative. Like,
yes.
She's still saying that she thinks that Jody's a social climber and needs to be on all the business calls. Well, when Jody was on the two Eds, they asked him, like, how you met Lisa. And he said that he saw her, like, and they were out at the gym. Like, he saw her at the gym all the time. And, she would come in late and leave early. And he thought, like, like, what's up with that? But then he realized, like, after he got to know her, like, her life is crazy. Like, she leaves early and comes in late because wherever she is, there's, like, people around her, right? But anyway, he asked her out, and they were asking, like, how did you ask her out? And he said something like, oh, I live on the next island over. And they're like, oh, you live on the next island over? Like, that's a flex, Because
that
she was
is a flex.
Right? And then he said that he recently sold that house because they were asking, well, whose house was bigger, your house or Lisa's house? And Lisa's house was way bigger, but he sold his house, I want to say, for like 12 or 13 million. He's got his own damn money, is what I'm saying.
Right. I thought we knew that, though. Like, well, that's why all this bullshit that Larsa's saying he's a gold digger. I'm like, I thought we knew he had his own money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we know he has his own money. He definitely has his own money. So why is Larsa spinning that he's a social climber? Like, that was Lenny. Like, Lenny was all about that. That was what Lenny was about the cameras and about the spotlight.
Yeah.
That's what Larsa's about.
I think more than I think Lenny's like a sex addict. I think Lenny, like, more than all that, I agree with you. He was all that. He's just, he wants the shiny, young, new thing. She's perfect. Lisa is perfect.
She is perfect. I think that if we really dug deep, and I don't even think we have to dig that deep, I think Lenny has had some sort of trauma in his life that makes him the way that he is.
For sure.
Undealt with trauma. I seriously think every housewife has some undealt with trauma.
He's obviously a person where enough is never enough because you found a beautiful girl, right? You did clearly a lot of plastic surgery on her. But again, she's perfect. You created the perfect, not that you had to do much because she was beautiful before, but
right.
And that's still, then she has children. You wanted children. She has children.
Right.
She did. There's nothing this woman could have done better for you. And you still not only divorced her, but humiliated her on national television.
Yes.
Just put her through the ringer. I don't know. I have no respect for that man.
No, I don't either.
He's a monster.
He really is. He really is. I hope we never see him again. I don't want to see him again. So in the midst of all this, then we see Lisa still talking to Marysol and Alexia, and she's telling them that she was dealing with her father's burial and she knows what's going on, back here, and that's causing her stress. And Marysol's like, well, how did you find out? And she said, I'm not a rat, but Larsa's texting me that, she's texting me. So I just sent her a picture of like what's going on. And she shows Marysol the picture, and Marysol's like, oh, and Alexia's like, what? She's like, she sent a picture of her dead dad in the casket.
That was wild.
I was like,
that was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was. I'm a huge Lisa fan. That's crazy.
Marysol's like, what?
Did anybody see you take the picture? And weren't they like, the fuck you doing?
You know what? Some cultures like take pictures of their loved ones in the casket. I know that they do that. It's a thing. I think it's weird. I think it's
definitely a thing in some cultures.
It is a thing. So whatever. I don't know that they're sending it in text messages to others, but I'm sorry. I was hysterical. I was like, oh my God, Lisa. Marysol in her confessional was like, oh my God, dead people cannot travel through cyberspace. I was like,
that was good.
So Lisa's saying, she's saying like F you in one text, and then she's saying I'm praying for you in the next. Like, I just can't deal with this, meaning Larsa.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Listen, if you're in a certain place with one of your friends and you want to send like, you have to preface the I'm praying for you with, listen, I know we're not in the best place.
Exactly.
But
like,
I am thinking of you and I
Right.
am praying for your family.
Right. Like, let's put this aside and,
Right.
maybe we'll talk when you get back. Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Then we see Kiki and Summer are going to pick up her dad at the airport. Summer, oh my God, I love Summer. I so
She's
love
so
Summer.
cute.
She wants to
When
dance.
she was talking about the brother, she's talking about her son. Why
Yep.
don't I have his name down?
Shamar. I think it's Shamar.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And then
Shamar.
she's like, I'm Summer
I
in the
know
back.
this. It's so funny. And she's like, I want ice cream. And then and then Kiki's like, do you want to have a dance party with your little brother? She's like, yeah. I love Summer. I'm sorry, but I
I
love
do
Summer.
too. I think we need more Summer on the show.
We definitely do. So Kiki picks up her dad and she's like, when you go back, you're going to stay with me for a few months. And he's like, no, I got to get back. She's like, why, for girlfriends? He's like, no, just one. He's like, well, she got me a boy. She's like, I have a brother. And he's like, yeah, like a little brother? Like, how old? And he's like, I'm like 3. Well, Summer's 4. Kiki said, well, how many kids do you have? He said 7. Kiki's like, I don't want any more kids. He's like, okay, I'll have more for you. She's like, no. Like, you got to take care of your grandkids. You need to communicate with your grandkids before you're having more kids. And that's when she talks about, like, you have to keep in touch with Shamar. Like, he's in college now. He's taller than you. Like, and then
You didn't like how he was taller than him.
Yeah. Well,
did you notice that?
No, I didn't notice that. Although I did notice he is extremely young looking.
He's very young.
He looks so young. I mean,
yeah.
He looks so young. Like,
Yes.
I don't think he's had any work done. I just think that he looks young.
No, I mean, he was probably young when he had Kiki,
Yeah. No, he looks so young.
I mean, she said, I mean, how old's Kiki, you think? He kicked her out at 15. How old do you think she is?
Well, he kicked her out at 15.
Maybe?
He kicked her out at 15 and her son is 18 and he's never met her son. She's got to be in her 40s. She's got to be in her 40s. Right?
I was thinking like 35, like maybe late 30s. Maybe let's say she's 40.
Okay. Let's say she's 30. I mean, he's young.
He's
young.
He
looks young. He looks young.
Looks young, yeah.
He's very good looking, but she's gorgeous. So that's, he's a good looking man. I can see why, he's getting all these women, right?
Exactly.
He's a good looking man. Larsa and Marysol and Julia and Stephanie all meet up, and Marysol worked with Stephanie's husband when she had the PR firm. I'm glad she mentioned that because she doesn't talk about the PR firm. Like, I wonder what
she was in PR.
Yeah, she was big. Like, that's what it was when it was on back then. Like, it was her doing all these events, right?
That's right.
With what's her name,
she
Leah
was
Black.
born and raised in Miami, right?
I mean, I think she's originally from Colombia. And I think that
Stephanie, but Marysol was born and raised Miami, right?
No, I think she's from Cuba, actually, now that I think about it. I think
she is Cuban.
I think she's from Cuba.
Cuban.
Yeah. I think she's from Cuba.
Yeah, no, Stephanie was definitely
But Stephanie was born in the US, but
she
spent 3 months of the year in Colombia. So Stephanie's husband, okay, so Larsa said Stephanie doesn't like kids because she said Birkins and Boogers don't go together.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. And I was taking that note and Andrew was in the room. He's like, why are you writing down Birkins and Boogers don't go together? I said, that is a very important quote, Andrew.
You don't even know.
You don't even know.
So funny.
Stephanie met her husband Masood in Miami.
So this is another flex by Stephanie, by the way.
When she was 26 and he was 50. Stephanie knew at an early age that she wanted to be filthy rich. She doesn't want children. She grew up in Colombia 3 months out of the year on a farm. She was born here and she's first generation American. Okay, Stephanie, I see you.
I admire her hustle. I admire her hustle.
Is it her hustle, though?
Whatever she tries to put out there.
Mm-hmm.
She's just a little too showy for me. Her Birkin, her Valentino gloves, blah, blah, blah.
How about when she comes in the bar and Larsa tries to take her Birkin from her and put it on the bar? And she's like, oh, no. She needs to be on the seat with her, the Birkin.
Now, listen, I am very particular about my bags, and I don't have expensive bags. I certainly don't have a Birkin. I mean, I have a nice whatever.
Yes.
whatever it is. But I am particular about my bags because there is a very old Italian saying that you don't put your bags on the floor because if you put your bags on the floor, your money goes out the window.
Right.
I don't know what bag being on the floor has anything to do with money going out the window,
I don't
but
either.
I live by this.
I know you do.
You know, we go out a lot
I know.
together.
Yes, I know.
So I will put my bag somewhere that is nowhere near a floor, obviously. And I'm a little bit of a germaphobe too. But her reaction and
she was
what
trying to
she
put it on the
said-
bar. She was trying to put it on the bar. It's not like she was putting it, like you said, on the floor. She was putting it on the bar.
Exactly. Like your friend was just trying to help you out. Don't be an asshole.
Right. Right. No, she was definitely overreacted I've definitely overreacted.
Yeah. And it was just another flex about her Birkin.
I will say though, as much as I don't like her, I think her style is cute. I think she's
adorable.
Cute. I think she's cute. I do think she's cute. I do.
I'm trying to chalk it up to like maybe like, I mean, she doesn't seem like the type of person to be nervous about anything, but maybe like she was just trying to like, you know, she's brand new on this show. She doesn't, but see, to me, like that's the difference between someone like her and someone like Dr. Nicole. Because Dr. Nicole came on the show, it was seamless.
Yeah.
Seamless.
Yes. And I'm sure Dr. Nicole has more Birkins than we would ever imagine. And
Dr.
I will say,
Tiffany Moon certainly does.
and we didn't see, I mean, we did see a little bit of her closet. We did. But her closet was fabulous. I love her.
Tiffany's?
Yes. Yes.
Tiffany's closet was so impressive. Didn't she have like the Face ID to get into it or
I think so.
fingerprint?
No, I think she definitely did. And no, her closet's fabulous. She still does her TikToks in her closet and she still does her Birkin unboxings and these are things, this is her real life though. I mean,
for some reason, like it doesn't bother me. Like that doesn't bother me. Like it's not like a,
doesn't bother me either. It doesn't, I don't know why.
This girl just came in like that. It's like, because even Crystal on Beverly Hills, like,
right.
Remember when Kyle was like, "Oh my God, you have the $90,000 Birkin." Like, but Crystal didn't come off like that either.
No, because
at all.
Crystal is another one. She's so down to earth and she's so humble and she is so wealthy.
I know. I think it was a bad move that they got rid of her. Somebody just told Andy that. I can't remember who.
I think she's going to be back. I give her another year or so and I think she'll be back.
Good. Somebody just said it to Andy on Watch What Happens Live. That was a wrong move, taking Crystal off the show. Oh, Jeff Lewis.
Because Jeff and Crystal are BFFs now. I mean, they are BFFs. Like, they hang out all the time. All because of Cynthia. Cynthia got them together. Yeah. So then they're talking about, like, Alexia, she's running late, and Marysol calls her, and she doesn't answer. And then she texts back that she's in bed with a horrible headache. And Larsa's like, yeah, she's in bed with Todd. And before that even happened, Stephanie said, you know, there's one thing that drives me crazy is that people that are late. And because Marysol's like, Alexia is never late. And Alexia is not late. Larsa's late. I mean, not Larsa. Lisa's late all the time.
Right.
Lisa's always late. But Alexia usually is not late. But the fact that she felt the need, this is the first time you're meeting these people, to tell them that that's something that, like, why should we care? Seriously, why should we care?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we know it's going to come up again because we see it's coming up again. So then it's the day of the baby shower, and Adriana in her confessional said that Julia called her the night before and asked her to sit her next to Stephanie. Adriana agreed to sit her across from her. It's
Martina's only ask, or it's Martina's request.
No, it wasn't Martina's request. It was Julia's request. Martina's only request is that the baby shower be fun.
I thought that was Martina's request.
No, Martina's request was that the baby shower be fun. Julia wanted to sit next to her, Stephanie.
That's weird.
That is who Julia is. And that whole interaction was so weird. And it even gets weirder.
Totally gets weirder. But I don't blame Adriana. I'm throwing this shower. I would like to sit next to you.
I don't either. I do not either. And I don't generally agree with Adriana, but she was 100% right. I'm hosting this shower. I will say that the place looked absolutely beautiful that she had that at. The place was called Kiki, right? It said Kiki on the sign.
I think it was.
Yeah, it said Kiki. I was like, oh, that looks like a cute place. We should check it out when we go to Miami and go do the sunset hour. We need to get down to Miami. We have 2 places now we need to visit.
Immediately.
Okay. Then the producer asks Alexia, like, why did you stay in last night? And she said, I was not with Todd. No, I wasn't. I wish I was, but I wasn't. You know damn well
She's
you're with Todd.
so clearly lying.
Right. We all know you're with Todd.
She's so clearly lying.
Yep. So then we see Stephanie meets Adriana. She says she's never been to a baby shower in her entire life.
She said that?
Yep. Never
Stephanie said she's never been to a baby shower.
Never been to a baby shower. Nope. Stephanie doesn't want children. Stephanie does not
I know,
like
but
children.
come on. You have a family. You have friends. You've never been to a baby shower?
Never been to a baby shower.
That's interesting.
And then Stephanie says, I almost fell over. Stephanie says to Alexia, can I tell you something without overstepping my boundaries with Todd? Alexia says, you can. She said, when God takes out the garbage, you don't go back into the garbage and go diving in. Alexia said, I have to realize that on my own. And then in her confessional...
Does she know who she's talking to?
I know. In her
Does she
confessional...
not realize that she's talking to the Miami Teresa Giudice?
I know.
And you do not come for their men?
I know. I will say that I was so surprised how Alexia took that. And did you see the look on Marysol's face? I mean, that was priceless. That was priceless.
My God.
I cannot believe that she said that. The first time she's meeting her.
Lord.
Yeah, in her confessional, she's like, that comment was way out of line. And I don't ever agree with Alexia, but I totally agree with her. That was way out of line.
I agree with her here. And then when she did next, I'm like, you're still an asshole. But we'll get there.
So then Lisa shows up and Larsa's ignoring her. We find out that Guerdy's in New York. That's why she's not there.
What was she in New York for, did they say?
No, they did not say.
They didn't say.
No, I don't know if she was or she wasn't, but listen, that wasn't the place for her. Martina and Julia arrive, and Julia said she's only been to one baby shower because in Russia, they don't do baby showers, right?
That's interesting, huh?
And in Europe, she said they don't do it either. But we did say that here in America, we just do one baby shower, and then that's it. Like, well, no, we don't. We do it.
We only do one.
Right. Some people in America do whatever, like as many as you want. Every time you have a kid, you have a shower.
Excessive.
Yeah.
Excessive.
So Martina had one request, and that was that it be fun. So Adriana said before we start the games, like she wants to propose a toast to celebrate the adoption of the two beautiful boys, and we see quick pictures of them.
So adorable.
So cute.
And they are biological brothers, correct?
Yes, they are brothers. Yes, they are brothers.
Very adorable.
So before she finishes her cheers, I don't know if you noticed this, but Alexia drinks her drink. And then
stands up.
Gets up.
And drinks her drink.
Stands up, drinks her drink, and then gets up and says, can I say something? And Adriana says, if you must. Alexia said, my friendship with Julia started 3 years ago. Adriana said, well, my friendship started with Julia a decade ago. I was like, oh, shit. And even Marysol and everyone in the room is like, what is going on?
It's not a competition.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Lisa said that. I just, honestly,
what was Alexia doing?
What was she doing? What are
you doing? That was so fucking rude.
It was so rude.
That was so rude.
It was so rude. She cheerses everyone, and then she says, and I'd like to thank you for... And Adriana's like, no, I'm thanking you for coming. I mean, the fact that Adriana didn't, like, deck her.
Totally.
I was like, what is going on?
That was ridiculous.
So, and again, so produced. Just so produced.
Yes, yeah.
So the first game was the diaper game, like guess or taste what's in the diaper. All right, that's dumb. Although Lisa was like, did you see Lisa? She was like visibly getting sick. She's like, I think there was actually...
So like what was in the diapers?
Well, I mean, there was beans. Like when Kiki guessed it, it was like beans and it was beans.
And Marysol's was like all mustard.
Hers was mustard, yeah. Whatever. Like
I don't want to ever play that game. Listen, I'm not a game person at showers. I'm not a present person at showers. And I've been to countless baby bridal showers. I will come to your shower. I will bring you a present. Just let me eat and drink. That's what I want to do. I
agree. Like I don't even want to watch them open gifts.
I don't want to watch you open gifts. Take your gifts home, open them up with your partner, and then, send me a thank you because I do like a thank you, but I don't need to watch you open them.
Yeah, I totally agree. So the next game is Truth or Dare. And I really thought that this was going to be like a baby I don't know why I thought this. So the first question is Julia's. If you got to do a threesome with people in this room, who would you do and why? Julia says threesomes are not my thing. It's insane.
I would almost be on board if this were a bridal shower, but it's a baby shower. What do threesomes have to do with it?
Exactly.
I I mean, stretch at a bridal shower, but I'd be here for it.
It was insane. Julia's like, threesomes are not my thing, but Martina says, well, you have done a threesome, so pick one. I was like, ooh, Martina.
Oh,
So
yeah.
who does Julia choose? Stephanie.
I'll be. But how about, did you say this? Martina said she better be included.
Oh, well, no, I didn't say that. She definitely said that. I better be
Yeah,
included.
Martina's
Right.
like, I better be
Right.
included in this. And Julia kind of looked at her funny. I'm like, obviously you're going to, Martina's here. So you have to pick her.
Right.
And then one other person.
Exactly. No, exactly.
Yeah. And of course she picked Stephanie. Her
Right.
New,
And Adriana said, oh, the new shiny toy. And
yeah.
Stephanie's like, we've only known each other 5 minutes. Like, I don't want to do a threesome with you.
Right.
But you know what? Julia picked her for a reason. Like, Julia wanted to sit next to her for a reason. Julia is so fake. It is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And if anybody doesn't see this, I mean, I'm normally blown away by people's reactions to people I don't like on Bravo, but this would be crazy if people don't see how fake she is.
Yeah, it's bad, right?
Yes.
I mean, even the fact that, I don't know if in the beginning of the when Alexia was there and she was talking to Adriana and she was saying, oh, how she's so stressed about Todd. And then she said, well, you were part of the reason. And then they cut to the
added
clip.
to the stress of my marriage, she
Right.
said.
I'm not blaming it on Adriana. I'm not blaming, Todd leaving me on Adriana. But then they showed the clip where Adriana was telling Julia in the car that they were having financial problems, which they were having financial problems.
Obviously they were.
Right.
I don't know how Adriana knew that, though.
Well, I think it's probably obvious if you're in a town like Miami. I think it's probably obvious. And Julia was okay to hear that then, right? Then all of a sudden, like Julia and come on, Julia.
Yep.
So then Larsa is the next one. What is the biggest mistake I've ever made? I feel like I'm too loyal. What?
No, you're not.
No. You are a fake, phony biatch. That's what you are. That's the biggest
You're
mistake
not too
you've ever made.
loyal, Larsa. Don't worry.
No.
You're in no danger of being too loyal.
No. Then the next one is Kiki. She does the dare, and she has to twerk for 30 seconds, which that was fabulous. I wonder what other dares there were.
I could watch Kiki twerk for a lot longer than 30 seconds, and Martina was enjoying the F out of that. And
yes, she was. Yes. I mean, listen, at least someone that could twerk got that, because I don't think Marysol could have done it. I don't think Alexia could have done it. I mean,
the right person got the right dare.
Yes. Then Lisa says to Stephanie that she's been wanting to be friends with her because she has an amazing jet and yachts. So the first, go ahead.
I think that Stephanie being insulted by Lisa, I think Lisa was joking.
She was joking, but she was drunk
and
too. Lisa
Stephanie
was also
being
drunk.
insulted by it is a joke.
Yes, because that's what she leads with.
All you do
that's what you lead
is
with.
talk about what you have, what you're wearing. She said something about being in Versace at this point too.
Yeah. Yes, because she dropped the diaper stuff on her Versace.
Yes.
She's dropped every name we know. Yes, it's ridiculous.
All you do is flaunt your wealth.
Right.
So her making a joke about wanting to be friends with you because you're so rich should not be super insulting to you.
Right. And she was drunk. So then Lisa says to Kiki, "Am I drunk?" And she said, "Well, you are talking like you're a little tipsy," which she was. She's like,
we all need somebody to call us out on.
Yes. But I mean, it would have been nice if Kiki called her out before she asked her. But maybe she didn't notice until then. But that's the thing, so Kiki goes to the bathroom with her and she does, kind of give her advice. But that's not how she treated Guerdy. Like, why wasn't she being like, I don't know. I like Kiki, but I don't like the way she moves between this group sometimes. I don't like it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Because I do like Guerdy, but I mean, I do like Kiki. But there's something shady. There's a reason she's being shady with Guerdy right now. I can't pinpoint it.
Yeah.
Is it because she wants to be in like the cool kid club with Alexia and Marysol?
Or is
like
it because
just like Julia flipped?
Is it because
Julia pulled the Jackie Goldschneider?
Is it because Guerdy's a full-time housewife and Kiki's not?
Maybe.
That would be sad.
But she's other than the Guerdy thing, I love Kiki, but she's being very shady with Guerdy.
I agree. So while Lisa's in the bathroom, Alexia and Marysol are talking to Larsa about what she said about Lisa. And Larsa wants to know who told her. And Alexia says, that's not the point, who told you. The fact that you were talking about her while she was, in Canada mourning her father. The whole time this conversation is going on, and even when it came up, I thought for sure it was Alexia that told her. I really thought it was Alexia.
Totally agree with you.
I thought for sure it was Alexia that told her, because Alexia immediately called it out when it happened. And she again said, it doesn't matter who told. Like, I really thought it was Alexia. And Lisa
Totally
kept saying,
agree.
I'm not telling. So then Lisa comes out and says, who are we talking about? Me? And Adriana said, we're not going to talk about this. And Julia says, well, can we just in this group admit to who told Lisa that we were talking about her at Marysol's celebration? I'm like, what the F are you doing?
Right. Let it
Lisa
go.
Lisa says, I'm not a rat. And Kiki's like, what are you doing? This is your own. She actually says that to her. What are you doing? This is your own shower. So then Marysol goes, well, it wasn't me. And somebody else said it was. And then Kiki admits that it was Guerdy that told her what was said. I was floored. I really, really thought it was Alexia.
Me too. But then when they show the scene of Guerdy, she's like, I did it with Kiki. So it doesn't seem like Guerdy's going to be upset.
No, she's not going to be upset. She's not going to be upset. But you
But
know
now
what?
Larsa's going to be
But it wasn't, listen,
after Guerdy.
it wasn't Kiki's place
No.
to do that. It wasn't Kiki's
No.
place to do that. And I like that Lisa wouldn't say, because I like that Lisa wasn't going to say who it was.
Right.
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 So then Lisa said, it hasn't even been 1 week since I put my dad in the ground. Why aren't you understanding that? And Adriana says, I'm sorry, Lisa. Lisa stands up and says, I don't want this to be about me. I don't want to talk about this. My dead dad. This is about you. I'm sorry, I'm leaving. Like, it turned into this big thing. And again, like, it didn't have to be like that. It really didn't. And Adriana's like, I really asked you guys not to start the conversation. And she did.
And yeah, I think that, like Adriana totally was trying to squash every time they tried to bring it up.
Yeah.
She was like, all right, guys, we're not going to talk about this today. We're not going to do this today. Yeah.
Right. And then they're all like, they go after her. Martina's out there and Julia's out there. And like, I felt bad for Lisa in that moment. I really did.
I did
Julia
too.
caused it.
Yeah. Yeah, she brought it back up. Everybody was ready to let it lie.
Mm-hmm.
And she totally brought it back up.
And by the way, Larsa still didn't answer for it. She still didn't answer for it.
Larsa cannot let one event go by without making it about herself. She did the same thing at Jody's birthday party. She went right in and started right in about her and Lisa's beef. Like, she literally can't let anything go by without it being about her.
It's so weird, too, because they really were friends. And they were friends
for
a long time.
They were really good friends.
They were really good friends.
I remember there was a Watch What Happens Live episode. I forget who was on. I think it was Lisa who was on. And Andy must have asked her, like, who's been the most supportive through your divorce? And she said Larsa.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not liking Larsa. I don't like Stephanie. I don't like the phoniness. I don't like the overproducing. I don't like what Julia's doing. Julia is a phony baloney, and she needs to go. She needs to go. I mean, Stephanie.
Get her off the show. Nobody needs her.
Stephanie said to Martina when she met Martina, my husband loves you, and you're the only woman he's allowed to love. What?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's just so weird. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're getting rid of Julia anytime soon, because I think that Bravo likes Martina. And
I'm sure they do.
Right? And Martina comes with Julia. They're not getting rid of her.
No.
They're not getting rid of her. I don't know. I used to really love Miami. I loved Miami. I'm not loving Miami this season. It's only episode 4.
I agree with you. There's a lot of overproducing going on. And I don't like that at all.
I don't either. Especially when it's so obvious. I mean, the grocery store, the FaceTime with the guy. Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously.
And I really want to know what's really going on with Todd and Alexia. I feel like there's so much we don't know. Something like, is it for the show? Is the whole divorce separation? Is it for the show? Are they just really together?
I think.
Does Marysol really hate him, or is Marysol just going along with the? Because she's a ride or die, Marysol. Alexia could have been like, listen, this is what we're going to do. This is going to be my storyline. You got to be the overprotective friend. Say you hate him, blah, blah, blah. And Marysol's like, all right, I'm in.
I mean, that is very possible because Marysol is a ride or die.
She is.
I think that she really is has a real love for Alexia, and she wants Todd away from her. I really do think that that's the case.
You think it's genuine?
I think that that part is genuine.
All right.
I think that Todd is very much like Louis. I really do.
Oh,
I think
100%.
Todd came in, an opportunist, wanted to be in the spotlight with who he thought was the HBIC, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Just like Louis. As soon as it didn't go their way and everyone turned on them and they didn't get the edit that they wanted, they bowed out. Why do you think we haven't seen Louis? Why haven't we seen Louis?
Where is Louis?
Right? Where is he? Why haven't we seen Todd? They didn't get the edit that they wanted. And even the fact that Alexia said to him, I will quit the show for you. He said it's too late.
That's the last thing you should be doing. Then
Right?
he'll really ghost you.
Right? So it just shows you who they are. It shows you who they are. And these women, both Alexia and Teresa, they have men that take advantage of them and they are too stupid in their love bubbles to see it. And it's sad. Honestly, it's very sad. It's very sad because they could both be successful, independent women without these losers.
And they're both very stubborn.
Stubborn.
So they commit to these men and people are like, I don't know, maybe you should, take a step back.
Right.
There's these red flags.
Right.
And then that makes them want to go for these guys even harder.
Yes. Yes.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. But yeah, she's the Miami Teresa. There ain't no doubt about it. And you're right. Todd is just like Louis.
Yeah. And it's just so weird. Like, I swear to God, if we did a show with the four of them, like, if you look at them side by side.
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, maybe we
we
should.
need to come up with some comparisons.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, right? It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even look at Teresa and Alexia and look at their history of picking men and their history with their families and like what they've been through. It's just so similar. They really are like cut from the same cloth. They really are.
Yeah, I mean, it's no wonder that they're they really are legitimately friends.
Oh, I'm sure they are too.
Yeah.
Until they're not.
Because
honestly, because that's how
they're not.
That's how that type of person rolls.
Totally agree with you. It's
Until
just
they're
going to
not.
take one of them to do one tiny, tiny thing, say one tiny, tiny thing wrong.
And then they'll be dead.
And the
to
wheels
them.
are going to fall off that bus.
That's right. That's what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen. And it's crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So that's my take on Miami. I mean, I'm hoping it gets better, but as of episode 4, I'm a little bit annoyed. And I was, like I said, I was really looking forward to Miami because I really love Miami. I do. I love Miami.
Well, of course, Andy gassed it up. Andy was like, this is the best season. Blah, 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 blah. He says it about everything.
He does.
Until you see the reunion. Like Summer House, there was a big reveal. There was no big reveal.
There was no big reveal. So after Ariana was on Watch What Happens Live, Ariana Bierman, now the big rumor is that she's going to be on Summer House. I mean, she actually would be perfect for Summer House, but I don't think it's true.
So I saw a thing that Amanda Batula put out that there's a new guy in the house.
Okay.
Emerald's not coming back. And he's someone people will know. And they're starting to film this weekend for 4th of July, like we said.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how Paige and and Amanda are without Paige.
Yes, I am too. And how is Lindsay? I mean,
I'm
curious
back.
to see.
She said she's back.
I know. I'm curious to see how things are with Lindsay and Carl, and the whole situation with her and the baby. And yeah,
It'll be interesting.
I know, but we have to wait we got to wait a long time.
This won't come out until what? Like probably February, March they air this?
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
Because they didn't,
Yeah,
I think February, March.
That is usually when it comes out, February, March.
Because they don't film the reunion until after Christmas. Because we know that from the last reunion, we found out that Ciara took off for 2 weeks at Christmas.
Right.
So they wrap Labor Day weekend.
They don't film the reunion. They don't film the reunion until they're like 3/4 away through the season airing.
Right. So I'm saying, we have to get through Christmas.
Right.
So maybe they're already airing. Well, I don't know. Whatever. I can't do math. I've had 2 glasses of wine.
There's something else I was going to say, and now I forget. Oh, well. Couldn't have been that important.
Text me.
I will text you.
We'll bring it up next episode.
There you go. Thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. Please subscribe, tell your friends, and
Yeah,
give
and-
us 5-star reviews.
And thank you for everybody who has been subscribing, because we really have seen a big jump lately, and we
Yes.
really appreciate that.
We
Thank
do
you very
appreciate
much.
this. Yes.
Because we love doing this.
We do love doing it. We do. We look forward to the day that it doesn't cost us money to do it. That's really what we're looking forward to. I mean, listen, it's a slow process, but we're getting there. We're just gonna keep. We're gonna keep doing
climbing
it. We are
very
We're climbing.
slowly. Our climb is showing our age.
Yeah, I think I can. I think I can.
Well, listen, Wendy's going to be on vacation next week, well-deserved vacation with her husband. So cousin Gina and I will be covering at least one show, hopefully 2.
Sounds good.
Atlanta's not on.
No, we got a break from Atlanta, so I will cover that when I get back. That'll be the first episode of the reunion. Oh, was it about the reunion? No, I don't know. I can't remember.
It was there, and then it
It's
was gone.
All right.
All right. Sounds
Bye.
good. Bye.